Welcome back, everybody. Picking up on leg number 7 of our flight around the world. Launching in with the HondaJet again, the recently released 2024 version of the HondaJet. Let me just double check. Make sure my microphone isn't picking up funny things. Yeah, so this one released originally on 2020. It was one of my favorite planes on 2020, and now it's on 2024 officially. And it is just as good to fly. So we did the last flight from basically that this is going to be our last flight in Canada. We're going to be leaving Canada, headed to Greenland. This flight's leaving from Iqaluit to what is the airport again? I'm going to butcher it like I always do. Kangerlussuaq, Greenland. Yeah, butchered that. And we're doing it in the Vision Jet, or sorry, not the Vision Jet, the HondaJet. All these different little jets, but it's got some nice static features. We get rid of some of the covers and chocks. I have an inspection here. Oh, you go off there. Close that back up. Not sure what that is. Now I want to Google. This is your speed brake. As it says, speed brake panel. That opens up like a clamshell to help slow down if you're going too fast. I believe the ground spoilers in this aircraft are in this little section right in here. But I don't believe they are modeled. The last flight we did was in the red HondaJet. We're going to go with the yellow one this time. I do enjoy yellow. Let's see here. We can load up in our weights and services. If we can go to our ground service, close the door. Suddenly it gets much quieter in here. I'm going to throw the ground power on there. Love it. It is also, I believe, a Honda generator. Maybe. Oh no, JetGo. I thought it was a Honda one. Maybe not. Anyway, get the ground power in here, and we're going to import from our sim brief. Okay, you see the weight of the aircraft, it kind of moved around. We had 200 pounds in the nose compartment. We do not. We only have one pilot. It's a single pilot operation aircraft. Alright, and we can, since we're in here, pull up the charts, the Navigraph charts for this particular airport. That's not a very good, useful chart. Let's get our info charts. Where's it at here? Take off minimums. Oh, yeah, well, it also helps if you do put the correct airport in there. Charlie Yankee Foxtrot Bravo. There we go. And there it is. Perfect. Alright, so we do have ground power available. Battery on. Switch over to ground power. Go. So it's updating the FMS. While it's doing that, we can go into our utilities and start running through our initializations. Engine fire on both engines, testing that. Stick shaker on the pilot side. Stick shaker on the co-pilot side. And all of our annunciators. That's good. We're going to get our weight and balance here. There we go. Our avionics is initialized, and we're gonna get our speed bugs. From sim, we're gonna turn all those on. Get them right up here. Got some weather. Nothing crazy. Which GTC we're on? Okay, we're gonna do full mode there. I'm going to take this one. Back and turn the traffic on. There we go. All right. Flaps are up, speed brakes up. All set to normal. Normal. All looks fine. Action on. Okay, so let's pull up our checklist. Oops. Checklist. Here we go. Batteries on, oxygen's on, pressurization set to normal. ELT, nose wheel landing alternate, parking brake flaps. All these checked normal. Starting engine. No passenger briefing. Rudder pedals, adjusted seatbelts, doors, parking brake is set, cast messages. 23.5 minimum. We've got 29 because we're on ground power. Let's start the right engine first. Looking at our N2. Looking for 15. Click this text spot. Takes it out of the shutoff. We've got ignition on the right hand engine. N2 coming up. ITT's coming up. Get a bit of a hum from the engine there. Peak 537. Not bad. Alright, we're going to do the same on the left side engine. 15% N2. And out of the stops. Good start. We're going to get our engine anti-ice on because there is ice. We're going to come back here and tell the fine folks thank you for the ground power. We no longer are in need of it. Alright. Anti-ice, we're going to be alright for now. It's in automatic transponder mode. $1,200. Flight plan is entered. We can see it here. Navigation source is set to FMS. Altimeter 3014 is set. Flap set for takeoff. And they are. Cabin pressure is required. Parking brake can be released. Let's get on our pedals here. A couple things out the way. Go. Okay, as soon as you take the parking brake off, your taxi lights do come on. There we go. Bit of power. And brakes are working. Nose wheel steering's check. Flight instruments check. Okay, before takeoff. Actually, we are going to head it over this way. I suppose we could. Oh, no ATC? Alright. Well, we're going to head to runway 34. Taxi along here. With idle power, this thing will do actually a pretty decent taxi speed. I think it gets up to around 11 to 14 knots ground speed. While we're taxiing, we can check things. We've got flaps. Trim is currently set for takeoff. Speed brake is retracted. Cast messages are fine. Cabin power is currently off. We're going to get the cabin power on. Flight guidance is set. Takeoff, landing data confirmed. Takeoff briefing. We're going to take off straight out. If we have single engine failure, we're going to continue. Circle back around, assess, and land. If we have dual engine failure, we're going to immediately brake. If we have enough runway. If not, we will head straight ahead. Unfortunately, no caps in the HondaJet. It's a little too big. So we'll land straight ahead and hope for the best. And yada yada yada. Radar as required. Ice protection as required. Cool. Landing gear. Okay, so we'll get after takeoff checklist. We can go a little faster here. Get them just out of idle. This is live weather. I had intended on doing this flight a little earlier in the day. Unfortunately, I just didn't have enough time. That's alright. So we're doing a nighttime flight in the HondaJet. We're heading to Delta. So across Charlie. 21 knots, a little fast. Bring back to idle. Let's throw that speed brake out there. See if it slows us down any. What are we at here? Iqaluit Tower. This is HondaJet. Charlie Foxtrot Tango Mike Oscar. At runway 34, holding short. Then they'd say something like blah 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 blah. Tango Mike Oscar. Cleared to take off. Cleared to take off, and yada yada yada. So we're gonna line up on 3-4. Alright, the landing lights automatically come on. I'm going to set our heading. 340. Come down here to the throttles. I'm going to press the takeoff go around button. You see the flight direction is going to come up to 10 degrees. I'm also going to set our altitude here. Should have done this earlier, but it's okay. There's nobody waiting behind us. So we're going to 350. Hit our VNAV. Heading. And feet on the brakes. Advance to takeoff thrust. In fact, if we engage the auto throttles, released. Now this runway is not a straight line. 110s rotates. There we go, we're up. Push past a little bit. Landing gear up. Flaps can come up before 150. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on with the trim there? I did not like that. There we go. And floor our flight director ever so slightly. Let's engage our autopilot. Actually going to engage nav mode. Already in auto throttle, so we're in takeoff. Go. Now we're on the departure. Our actual flight path is over this direction. So we can come down here. Flight plan. Next waypoint, everything's looking happy. Let's run through a checklist. Gears up, yaw dampers on, flaps are up, thrust levers. Max are continuously actually in auto throttle, but let's... Right, and we're going to end up going direct to activate. Pressurization is coming up. Altimeter, we're good. And it's just monitoring systems. Looks like we got some weather. There's some clouds off to the right there. Nothing crazy out in front of us, thankfully. And that transition, that's an 18,000. We're going to set our barrels to standard. This will actually flash this box, let us know. Say, hey, by the way, set it to standard. We're doing both pilot and co-pilot side. And all set to standard. We're going for 35,000 feet, 350. So we are in a climb. Doing 3,000 feet a minute, 3,100. Fuel flow, 960 a side. It's pretty substantial. So you got synthetic vision on, synthetic vision off. You can go into your settings. I believe. Don't forget, let's have a look. For the life of me, I can't remember, but no big deal. And we should see we've got a ground speed of 314 right now, 313, 314. True speed at 252. In a climb, 2450 a minute. That's pretty impressive. Burning 1,800 pounds an hour. That's a lot of fuel, but... And we can get rid of that. If you want, we can have a look at the map. So now we're off to Greenland. Somewhere over this direction. And then from Greenland, we're going to make the jump over to Europe. I'm not sure if I don't know if I'm going to do it in the HondaJet. I think I might go for the Starship. I really do like the Starship. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can almost hear the sound of the strobe. Yeah, doop, 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 doop. I feel like I can hear it. Coming up to our 35,000 foot cruising altitude. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. We're going to go back to map, full screen, back over here, I want to be, and so we don't need that up. Let's 1,000 feet away. Throw a traffic display up there just in case. Just about a 350. True airspeed 251. Ground speed 290. As we level off, that's going to start increasing. There we go. We're at altitude, and We're already over 300 knots ground speed. $370. Roughly 38 knot tailwind. Probably closer to 34, but that's all right. And now we're about to, what, 1,040 pounds an hour. Much better. Now that does some pretty good speed. For being a tiny little jet, it is certified up to 410, which is also quite high. 410 and I think 422 knots true airspeed, I believe. .427 knots across ground, 428. Slowly creeping up there. The auto throttle's commanding a Mach 0.72. I don't think it's going to get there, though. Maybe. The Milky Way. Let's have a look outside. Might get a little loud. Back inside goes, holy hell, that's loud. Right there. I think that's about as fast as we're gonna get going. Well, maybe not. It's got a little bit left in there. Here's what's probably going to help it. Let's get our engine anti-ice off. That's going to give it just a little bit more oomph. So one of the cool things about the HondaJet is it will notify you that there's icing detected, but all of its systems here, with the exception of the engine anti-ice, are automated. So it will automatically engage your icing. Fuel pumps, all automated. Windshield heat, pneumatics, all that stuff's automated. Obviously, you can manually select whether you want it on or off. I'm not sure if we go to off, if it'll make any difference in our performance. I don't think it will. Oh, we're almost at that 240 knots. It's giving us 452 across the ground. It's really trying. It's really trying. 241. 241, come on. Ooh, 242. Mach point 718. 719. Wonder if we're actually gonna get it. Oh. There's 720. Okay. I'm a little impressed. Wow. 720 at 350. We still have, another 6,000 feet more we can go to our maximum certified altitude. Let's get, we've got a true airspeed of 421. Ground speed of 455. Mach 0.72. Up here, all on our own. Vision Jet. Or, I keep saying Vision Jet, the HondaJet. And since we don't have a need to have the tablet out the whole time, we can put it away. This little button in the corner here, that'll stow it. A bit more pleasant in the cockpit, but we do have some interesting things. So along with our speeds and everything, we can see indicated 242, ground 455, true airspeed 420, current QNH 1013 hectopascals or 2992. Our winds, which is interesting, different from what I've got indicated here. ISA of 5 degrees C, I've got indicated here of +2. And outside air temperature 68 Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius. So that's not correct. But the one thing that I do note on here, I mean, you've got NavGraph. It's a very simple implementation, but you do have that. Your weights, aircraft weights. You can load up whatever you need to, right? But this is one I haven't seen anybody do yet, which I'm kind of interested in. I mean, I don't really ever use the Simbrate to speed things up, just because, I don't know. It feels kind of like cheating. Not that it is, but now that we're up here in cruise, we're burning under 900 pounds an hour, just under. $896.5. Sorry, nine. What? No. 900 and something. Fluctuating, obviously. Aircraft uses its auto throttle to maintain the speed as best as possible. And it's doing a hell of a job, actually. Another fun thing, if this is your first time playing around in the HondaJet, say hello to my little friend. Hello, friend. The little seagull. He just sits up there and does his thing. Make him go away, though. Squeaker. That was also something that was in the 2020. I do wonder if there's anything that was hidden in the back here. I don't think there is. Oh, yeah. They're definitely not trying to exit the aircraft, that's for sure. Now, I do wonder. I guess the lights come from there, but how do they turn on? There we go. Back in the captain's seat. Alright, and this is where we do a bit of a stretch over the water here. Oh, look at that. We're outside of the plane. I didn't know we could do that. Huh. Well, how you like them apples? Normally, you can't do that. Alright. No complaint. Back in the seat we go. So, I do love this aircraft. It performs well. It's kind of got all the features you could want. But at the same time, because it does everything so well, it's almost kind of boring to fly, if that makes any sense at all. All shiny new. I mean, you can cover a lot of ground real fast. It's fairly fuel efficient. We're power back 400 pounds an hour. It's doing some jumping around due to the winds, but that's pretty impressive if you ask me. But I don't know. I feel like I do love the Seagull. That part's great. It's pretty much just chill and fly along. Winds are pushing us about a little bit here. See that speed tape kind of fluctuating. A little bit of an oscillation there. Some turbulence. But since we're up here, we can let's get that over here. Let's have a look at our weather radar. Okay. Zoom out. We can also use our onboard radar. I don't think we're going to obviously have much of anything. There's really no indicated weather visible in front of us here, so. Textual weather. Pause inhibit. Ground proximity warning. So I suppose if you're flying real close to the ground, you're going to want to use that. And I guess some approaches you may have issues with the indicators. Traffic. Got nada. So look at our aircraft status page. All circuit breakers are good. Pneumatic reservoir got 1,041 liters of oxygen. Environmentals. Cabin temperature is 22. Actual is 22. Electrical. Got our fuel flows. Used 800 pounds. Hydraulics. Ice protection, so the windshield and probes are all currently on. Interior lighting, we do have footwell lights. Do have an adjustable thermostat. And we can control our exterior lights as well. Now look at our GPS signals. Not that it really matters. We set our minimums. Okay. Can't mess with the crew profile. What do we got? So avionics set up. Time format, 24 hour. Just a lot of stuff. Navigraph settings. Yeah, there's lots of stuff that can be done. I think this is a good plane for this particular leg. I do wonder, what's the fuel burn on the Starship? So if you've been watching any of my previous videos, we got a dog back in December, a rescue from the Republic of Georgia, and it is. We were told it is a Spaniel Terrier cross, which is, you know, anything from kind of a, as far as dog sizes, like a larger small breed to kind of a smaller medium breed dog, right? It's not very big, 40, 50 pounds max. So we're going, okay, that's a good size. We did have a previous dog who was kind of at the higher end of the small breed dogs, and he passed away just about a year ago now. He was 16 years old, so he's a good boy, and he made it pretty far, but he crossed his Rainbow Bridge. So we waited a bit before we got Bocce, who's our rescue that we got, and yeah, so we figured that'd be a good sized dog. You know, I wanted a dog that's a little bit bigger, but they weren't sure of the exact breed, so my wife got one of those dog DNA kits. Now, gotta say, I was kind of skeptical about the whole thing because it's. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just kind of guessing, but maybe not. Um, it's it's interesting. There's a 44-page report that we just got back, but turns out he is the top percentage of his DNA is a Marian Gamper, which is a very large working breed dog from kind of the Russian area of the world. And the next one down, 22% Anatolian Shepherd Dog, 15.6% Central Asian Shepherd Dog. So his top three, which make up, what have we got? 30, 50, 54, 69. Over 70% of his DNA makeup is dogs that are in excess of 150 pounds. So it sounds like we're gonna end up with a big boy. Um, but it's neat getting this full report on him. But I guess being that he's a mixed breed, he's actually pretty healthy. Um, there's nothing specific that they say he should have any issues with. So it looks like we should have a pretty healthy puppy. He's 6 months old now. We just finished his first, I guess, round of training. It was 6 weeks, or sorry, 7 weeks of classes, and he's definitely come a long way. His trainer said that he's gonna still need some work on the basics, which we can do at home. But if we were to join a class with him again, he would recommend redoing the same class that we just did, just to kind of reinforce the basics. But as he is a 6-month-old puppy, he's going through his regression phases right now, which makes it a little bit more difficult to train. But we're going to keep at it. You know, we want a good dog, well trained, especially given his projected size. We don't want anybody to feel scared of him. That's for sure. He's if he's going to be a big dog, as we kind of think that he will be now, we want to make sure that he's a very well behaved big dog. Alright, we're approaching our next waypoint. About 21 seconds. There we go. It's going to be a slight right-hand turn. Where is it? too bad there's not any aircraft. It's currently set to live. Not quite sure why it's not calculating top of descents. Descent 180. I don't know why it's not doing that. Used to. I know in 2020 I never had any issues with it. Just not entirely sure. And I don't think... Let's have a look. Well, it looks as though VNAV has let us down in this case. Also, I mean, for myself, currently flying directly over the runway, except we're at 12,000 feet above it. So that's not well planned by myself. Not quite sure why the VNAV was not responding how I would expect it. That's all right. What we're going to do...
Autopilot.
Turn the autopilot off. Do some hand flying. Nice. Protection. Let's get that on. Also gonna kill those auto throttles. And our airport should just be off to the right here, ever so slightly. Let's get our landing gear down. Actually, I do not like those lights, so we're going to get it back up. Alright. A little bit of power back in there. Some pretty aggressive banking. There we go. Alright. Alright, we visually established the runway there. Sure does like the speed. That's one thing. Down low, this thing sure zooms. Alright, so let's get the power back. Pull some G's. There we go. Alright, let's get that power back. Landing's out.
$1,000.
3 green. Full flaps.
$500. $400.
8 knot headwind.
300.
Coming in real shallow.
200. 100.
'Alright, well, those height callouts were interesting. So automatic taxi lights, retracted. Oh, we've made it. Gonna have to play with the VNav a bit more. That's definitely not how you want to do it, but you know, when you get to the ground, we are here. Safe and sound, we have landed. I think we'll just head over towards the the tower. I think we'll park just over, right over here. Mostly because I can. There we go. Park brake is set, which automatically disables the lighting. Flight director comes off. Alright, and we're gonna pop over here. Let's get our shutdown checklist. Before landing gear. After landing, cabin sides as required. Utilities. Setup. No. That one is aircraft systems. Back one. Interior lights. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Flaps are up. Trims are in the green. Set them there for now. We're going to shut down. Park brake is set. Wheel chocks. Wheel chocks. We can get those installed. Get chocks installed. Steer power is required. Thrust lever cut off. Oxygen supply, pull out. Park brake can be released. And battery we go to off. Let's open up our main door here real quick. And let's hop on out our HondaJet. Close up the door. Get our covers on there. And there we go. That is leg 7 complete. In the HondaJet. It's a fun one. Hope everybody had a good flight. This one was a little lacking. I attribute it a little bit to the fact that I don't stay that interested in what's going on inside the plane. Fantastic aircraft for flights like this, obviously, but I think the next one's going to have to be in the Starship again, just because that thing's amazing. But thanks everybody that stopped in. We hope to see you on the next leg. Take care.